Hey everyone, welcome back to the Atypical Declutter Game. My name is April and this is Atypical Life. You are on day 19, do the math. And this is a real favorite of mine. The goal here is to find a way to figure out how much of something that you really need or can use in a certain time frame. This is helping you find your ideal numbers. Over the years, I've joined in on a lot of project panning on YouTube. If you don't know what that is, it's like these little challenges to use up beauty products and makeup. It's a whole little community. It was a lot of fun to be a part of. But it's the goal, one of the main goals is to help curb shopping, but it also helps you to figure out how long it takes you to use up products. Biggest lesson, the biggest takeaway was it takes forever to use things up. A medium quality blush can take several years using it every day. There are about 30 manicures and a bottle of nail polish. Following this lead, I started figuring out how many times I could wear shoes before they were no longer comfortable or presentable. I have a whole video on this topic. Recently, decently made clothing is also incredibly difficult to actually wear out to the point of holes and not looking, too janky. Products expire. Glue in shoes often goes bad after about 10 years. Body products start to lose their scent. Makeup can become bacteria-ridden, change consistency, get moldy. It can lose its staying powder. White things turn yellow. Elastic in clothing deteriorates. So I'm saying all of this as a way to encourage you to do the math. And think about how you naturally use things and how often you naturally use things and how often are you comfortable wearing clothing or using old products. Figure out what you can realistically use and then pass on the rest while it's still good. But beyond this, it also gives you a range to shoot for. In the shoe video where I talk about this, I realized that 35 pairs of shoes would be ideal for me. And then I could realistically wear out that many pairs of shoes in rotation, of course, and still have plenty of options, variety, and everything that I needed. The truth be told, I still haven't managed to get down to that number yet. But it gives me a good goal and it gives me a good range and not just some random number. It's a number that means something. And that is so helpful when you are struggling and your brain's trying to convince you that you might need something one day or you're going to use it one day. You should watch that video. I go into detail a little bit more. I talk a little bit more how I came up with that number. It might add a little bit more clarity to this video, so I'll remember to put it in the cards or at the end of the video, or if I remember to put it in the about section, that would be nice. So pick a category, something that you would like to declutter or you think you might want to declutter, and then break it down into smaller categories of what you think is essential and what would really work for you. Like drinking cups is a good one. How many glasses do you really need? How often are you going to do dishes? What's realistic for you? I know there's some people we have one cup. But that's not realistic for my family. I need to be able to have at least one day in between washing dishes just in case we get busy or we're running around crazy. It happens sometimes and I need that flexibility. But that's it. That's the point. Is make the categories of types of things you have and then break it down to what you actually have to have. And for example, do you really need 3 pairs of rain boots in California or 5 pairs of cold weather boots in Florida? How often are you actually reaching for heels, or do you just have them for your fantasy self? Do you really need 10 pairs? With a little thought, you can apply this to any category that you're struggling with, or you can even Google ideas for lists from other people. There's other people working on this and thinking about this stuff in this way, and that will help customize it for you. You can say, how much baby stuff do I need? And they'll give you a list. They'll give you a nice little list of things. It helps to start the list before you start going through your things, so that you can make a more detached guess. Because once you start looking at all of the pretty things, it's really, really easy to start rationalizing. Well, I do need 3 pairs of rain boots because I have black, I have brown, and I have purple. And I really want that purple one. Nothing wrong with that. If you choose to keep all 3, that's fine. Even if you don't need it, that's Absolutely fine. It's just at some point in this process, to become a little bit more minimal and to pare down your life a little bit, you're going to have to make cuts somewhere. Okay? It doesn't have to be with this particular category, but it has to be somewhere across the board. So just pick a category of something that you've been really struggling with. Try this out and see if it can't help you cull down a few more things, or at least make a mental note of, okay, maybe when I wear out the purple rain boots, maybe I don't repurchase something in replace of that, or you're never going to wear out a pair of rain boots. Terrible idea, but you get my point, hopefully. All right, so that's all for today. Don't forget to watch the shoe video where I talk about it a little bit more, and post progress pics on Atypical Declutter on Instagram, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye! Hey guys, welcome back to the Atypical Declutter game. My name is April and you are at Atypical Life. Today is day 20 and today I recommend that you be a know-it-all. One of the coolest things about decluttering that does not get enough press is that if you do a full house declutter, or you're just a full room declutter or a full drawer declutter, you will know what and where everything in your house is. The attention that it takes to go through and attempt to declutter those boxes in the attic or the dark corners of your closet or the rando drawers seems to commit the items to memory, especially if you attempt to group like-ish items together as you are putting the keep items back. You may not know exactly which box the vase you inherited from grandma is, but you can probably know that all the stuff you inherited from grandma is in the corner of the attic. I would say that most people that talk about decluttering would recommend to do the decluttering before you do a detailed organization, and I totally agree with that. But I also think that the decluttering process is the perfect time to start grouping like things together and creating the foundations for a more detailed organization in the future, if that's your goal, of course. For a lot of people, just loosely having the items grouped together is all the organization that they need to feel put together. I'm kind of one of those people. I don't need super detailed organization. I just need things to be mostly where they're supposed to be. If you live with other people, but you are the primary caretaker of the house, here is a quick tip. If you decide to create a new home for a group of items that others in the house will be using or looking for, communicate to them that you moved things right off the bat. Don't forget, put it on your to-do list. Make sure that they heard you, so make sure that you didn't just tell them as they were walking by you in the hallway. Look them in the eyes, make sure that they heard you, and then put a label on it, at least for a little while, because you want to give everyone time to adjust to this thing's new home. Go ahead and prepare yourself when you are asked where something is for the 100th time, because it's going to happen. But put that label on it. That label will help so much because people walk by and they subconsciously, they see that label and then it just helps, believe me. So I feel like this topic might have felt a little bit more like it was about organization, but decluttering should really be that first step to getting organized. And the benefit of going through your house occasionally is dramatic. Another more detailed step to this is to consider making an inventory. I personally have really mixed feelings about the usefulness of this because inventories take a really long time to not only create, but then there's this other long time commitment to maintain them. So I think that inventories, I have a couple of inventories, but I think that they are a lot of work. I just attempted, though, the reason I even mention this is because I just attempted to read a book about decluttering, and that was pretty much the advice. It was basically catalog your entire house on paper and make notes, and then declutter from that. Personally, I feel like this is such a time-wasting way to go about it, but there can be categories where this inventory idea is useful, especially categories that you see yourself maybe as a collector, so you can't see everything at one time. Categories that you might overbuy in. For me, makeup is a category that I keep and it's on my phone, and if I'm at the store and I'm tempted, I can look and see that I have 37 blushes. I recently did one for my son's clothing, so I would know roughly what I needed to purchase every season. This was a really good one because he's still at that age where he outgrows things every year, so I've had to rebuy every season, and I'm like, you don't know what to buy every year. Like, how many pairs of shorts does he need? How many shirts did we have last year? That was a good amount. So that's been very helpful to have that inventory to refer to. Like I need 6 or 8 t-shirts. I don't know what the number is, but this has been super helpful. But it's time consuming to maintain. So every time I buy something, it has to go on the inventory. Every time I let something go, I have to say, we don't have that anymore. So it's a thing. So keeping an inventory for this category is actually saving me more money than time. And the goal for my decluttering a lot of times is money, but it's really about time saving and mess chaos. Like I want to reduce the chaos in my house. So decluttering, using an inventory, and as far as decluttering goes, it's just kind of a wash because I don't think it really saves as much time as it helps maybe just to prevent bringing extra things in. I might bring up inventories again in another video because they're good too. I do think there's some ways that it can be helpful in the right framework. But yeah, that's where I'm at on inventories right now. Anyway, so let me know, have you ever tried to inventory anything in your house? What was the results? Did you think it took a lot of extra time? And also, I think it's important to say that it depends on how much stuff you have. If you don't have a lot of stuff, it's not that hard to inventory. But then if you don't have that much stuff and it's not that hard to inventory, then it won't take that long to just go through it, right? And I don't know. Come on, help me out. Actually, tell me where I'm wrong. That's what I would love. If anybody has a really good reason of why I'm wrong, and inventorying would be the way to approach this, because I am very curious to hear another opinion on the pro side of this. Okay.
All right, so today's items don't really fit any sort of theme, and I don't really have much to say about them other than they are decluttered. There's 10 items here. But it is day 20, and this is 200 items. I have a little surprise at the end of this series if I can ever get it done, but just to see how much 200 items is, I think is really going to be eye-opening. But I am feeling, I know I've said it before, but I can feel it. It's slow moving. Certain areas of my house feel better than others, or areas that I've made more progress in, but I can just feel it. I feel a little bit more organized. I just feel better. I can tell. It's slow progress. I wish it was moving faster. I wish I had more time to devote to this every day. But really, guys, I'm just following along with this, the same thing I'm telling you every day. As I do these, as I come up with the video ideas, and as I work through the 10 items a day declutter, that's really what I'm accomplishing right now. And just knowing how good it's feeling is crazy.
I have rambled enough. I will see you guys again soon. Hashtag Atypical Declutter. Obviously, I love hearing from you guys and talking to you in the comments below, and I will see you again soon. Bye. It gives you power in the right now to say, I'm keeping my junk because I want to, and it gives you power in the future if you want to change your mind. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Atypical Declutter Game. My name is April and you are at Atypical Life. Today is day 21 and this is the almost useful item. Almost 100% of the time when I buy an item, it is because I think I can use it in some way, or I think it's a gift. I intend for it to be a gift. Even if it is a super cutesy trinket, I think in my mind I'm going to try to figure out how to put it in my life somehow and make it useful. Sometimes I acquire things that are more about the fantasy version of me. We touched on that in the Owning a Pickle video. But other than things that are gifted to me, the items I purchase and have on my home, I see mostly as potentially fulfilling a need. So let's do this together. I bought some random food items at the grocery store with the intention to eat it or try it, but it's still sitting there. We haven't tried it yet. It's getting close to expiration. I don't think we're really going to like it even. Should I keep holding on to it, commit to using it, or just let it go? Is it meeting the need of being food that satisfies hunger or expanding my cooking skills while it is sitting on the shelf? Let's do another one. I ordered a tank top from the internet last year and it just wasn't what I expected. I ordered it with the intention of wearing it and feeling comfortable and loving the color, but it was just too clingy and I really just kind of felt meh about it. It was going to cost almost as much to send it back, so I just decided to keep it and see if maybe one day I would wear it. But now it's been in my closet for over a year, and is it meeting the need of being clothing anymore, or is it just fabric hanging in my closet? Unplayed with toys. Are they still toys if no one plays with them, or are they clutter? There are also mental needs that unused items can meet, like making us feel secure, that we have a backup of something, or not getting rid of inherited items because we're afraid we might miss them and they make us remember that person. But if you're struggling with an item, take a second and ask yourself, why did you acquire or hold on to this item in the first place? And is it currently meeting that need? How long has it been waiting to be used? How afraid are you that you may not be able to find a replacement if you need it? Is this item bringing anything to your life, or is it just taking up space? Don't be afraid to be truthful, because you can still keep it. Even if it doesn't meet any needs and is not useful and is clutter, you can still keep it. But you can keep it without lying to yourself and telling yourself that it is something that it is not. And that honesty ultimately gives you power. It gives you power in the right now to say, I'm keeping my junk because I want to. And it gives you power in the future if you want to change your mind. If you keep pretending it's useful when it's not, the item starts to own you. This is also a reminder to take things back. Send them back, even if it almost doesn't feel worth it. The couple of dollars that you will get back, plus the space and freedom of not having to feel stressed and owned by the almost useful item, is so worth it. This is also a reminder that try on clothing and things in the store before you bring them home. Once you bring them home, it's harder to get them back out. I think that we all can agree on that.
Day 21, I have 10 more items, 10 more examples of things that are just sitting around not being used. Books that we don't plan on reading, but I kind of wanted to hold on to because they were a little bit sentimental, but like my son had really outgrown. Shoes that he had outgrown, which, I mean, those just kind of needed to go. And then just random clothes that I found in everybody's closet that we just weren't using.
So let us know in the comments how you feel about what I just said, and are you holding on to anything that has, like I mentioned, just become fabric hanging on the closet. It's no longer clothing. It's no longer what you bought it for. It's just there, and you're holding on to it because hopefully one day it might possibly become that thing again. All right, so that's all for today. Don't forget to post your pics on hashtag A.Typical Declutter on Instagram. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do in fact like this video and would like to see a little bit more. And I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.